Good morning, my are back. Here's the plan. Slightly bigger crew working on the gazebo this morning. More guys, extra guys, working on the tiling around the pool. Doors, more doors going in. The glass guys are back again. Lots more white paint. I have a question for you that I'll come to shortly. And a new fashion is born here on this build site. It will be taking the world by storm. What could possibly go wrong? Manny has found a new way to keep cool. This could be a new fashion in headwear.
Only in the Philippines.
Only in the Philippines. A polystyrene hat. Tiling around the outside of the pool. Frederick is getting help. Tony and Mark, who were previously working on the outside bathroom, are helping here. I did have a conversation with the engineer this morning, actually after they started doing this, and said if it was Frederick on his own, or even with Elson's help, this was going to take weeks and weeks and weeks. But now, hopefully, it's only weeks and weeks. We'll see. But 3 or 4 guys now, 3 guys right now, working on these tiles. I told you this could catch on. Richard is now the proud wearer of a polystyrene hat. But what is also going on is more door installation. Here, from the kitchen into this hallway, if I back up a little bit without bumping into anybody. From the kitchen into the hallway, so down to the right, going towards the front door, going behind me towards the dirty kitchen. 4 doors going in, left, right and centre. I have a question for you, and I'm using this upstairs hallway just as an example. The engineer this morning came to me and said, what kind of lights do we want in all the different rooms? And specifically, do we want warm white or cool white? And I'm using this hallway just because it's got so many different lights in it, it's ridiculous. My thought is, bedrooms, warm white. Hallways, probably cool white, and the staircase as well. Kitchens, cool white. Living areas, I think, warm white. Bathrooms, cool white. I'm sure there's other places I've forgotten about, but give me some thoughts on this. You can be specific or general. You can just say, I'm completely wrong, and in general, bathrooms should be warm white, for example. What are your thoughts? Help me out here. Just as soon as I bring out the camera, all the glass crew have wandered off, but they are here. There's a small group again this morning, working once again on balconies, putting in handrails, I think making still some small adjustments to height and alignment. So I think the balcony glass will probably all be done by the end of today. Still got all those interior pieces of glass, whether it's stairs or double height ceilings. None of that, as far as I know, is going in yet. This is Sabrina's bedroom door. I said yesterday that part of the plan was door handles, but that plan depended on tools, and that's exactly what didn't happen. They didn't get the tool they need to punch through the door, so we're still waiting for that. Door handles on hold. That doesn't really make sense. I suppose it does in a way. Anyway, still waiting. It's catching. The fashion runways of Paris, London and Milan will be abuzz with polystyrene hats. It's going to be the talk of the town next year, I can tell you. Anyway, here at the gazebo, we've got more guys working today than previously during the daytime. 5 or 6 guys working here at the moment, and we're moving towards putting more forms on columns. Let's take a look at the columns that they did last night and see what kind of shape they're in. This is one of the 4 columns that they poured last night. They're all kind of in the same shape in terms of whether there are voids in the concrete. Looking at this one, you can see there are some surface voids, but they are just on the surface. There's been no big blowout of the forms. The forms did their job. Just these little surface areas that didn't quite come out perfectly. Nothing serious, easily plastered over. Nothing that suggests they've got to do any major rework on any of these columns so far. Good job, guys. Oliver and Erwin putting the beginnings of the next monster form in place. My guess, the remaining 4 will get poured at some point today. It's just after lunch. Oliver is working on the last of the 4 forms that are required for the columns here. But there's other things going on over here where it looks like they're preparing for some walls. We nearly have a White House. We're not quite there yet. There's still a couple of little areas that still don't have either skim coat or paint. But as I've said before, a couple of those areas there won't be any because there'll be tiles. But most of it now, we've got white. At the pool right now, we've got 4 people working on this tile. One of them is our engineer. We now have a couple of meters worth, maybe slightly more. Is now actually on tile adhesive and it's fixed in. This is still going to take them a while. Their target is about 2.5 weeks for all of the pool. Time will tell. We have another new door here in the laundry room, and given that it's an outside door, this one again is a solid door, no glass in this. And here we've got a conversation about the handrail for the glass banisters. So decisions being made on the finish on that handrail. More doors being cut to size, semi-finished. There's one here, and there's still 4 waiting to go in down here. I don't know where they're all going. I didn't know we had so many door openings that required filling. It's 4:30. Some of the guys have headed out. Some, once again, are remaining. Before we have a look around, here's a contribution from Mega Wegger, who, by the way, has been feeling a little bit under the weather, he says. I hope you're feeling better, Will. Here we go. This is a slightly longer one. A blind man walks into a bar and finds his way to a bar stool. He orders a drink. After a little while of silence, he yells out to the bartender, "Hey, you want to hear a blonde joke?" Before he can say any more, a husky voice of a woman next to him says, "Before you tell that joke, you ought to know the bartender is blonde. The rather large bouncer is blonde. The girl on the other side of you is 6 foot tall, a karate black belt, and she's blonde. The guy next to me is blonde, and he's a weightlifter. And that other girl, 2 stools down, is also blonde, and she's a pro wrestler. Are you sure you want to tell this joke?" The blind man thinks for a while, and then he says, "Nah, not if I'm going to have to explain it 5 times. Let's see what's been going on." Well, as you just saw, we nearly have a White House. American presidents, eat your hearts out. These areas of dark I've mentioned before, these are not going to be painted white because they'll be tiles, but most of the rest is now white, and they have also painted a couple of the downspouts. I'm still pondering, but I think that blends in enough. I don't think we have to encase these in Hardiflex. I think it will just look fine without. We have a door for the dirty kitchen. Yet another one has been hung. Once again, this is an outside door that does give access to the rest of the house, so no glass in this one. This door into the gym, I just wanted to highlight, it's been there for a while, but this does have glass. But there is no access into the house through the gym and spa. So anybody that did break some glass and get in there, well, good luck to them. Anything in there is probably going to be too big to pinch anyway. This is from the living room looking into one of the two entrances into the home theatre room. Those two entrances are the only two doorways downstairs now that don't yet have doors in them. All the others are now in. In the double height area, this is where the adjustments were made to the ceiling for giving better support for the light fixture. Herwin's been working up here and he's pretty close, I think, to refinishing the painting up on the ceiling. On Jack's balcony, the glass guys were here most of the day, but still not quite done with balcony glass. Here, we don't have the railing in place yet. I think today was really almost all about adjustments, trying to get things aligned better than they were. Singing Rico up on a perch, pouring the second column that they've poured today. Two more still to go. We also have the beginnings of some partial walls. None of this will have full height walls. It will be a relatively open structure, but part of it will have walls, and then we have a layout now for where we think everything fits that's going to go in here. I'm sure we'll have to make adjustments as we go. One of the adjustments has been made over on a little partial wall over there. Not quite sure why that's a problem, because in that area I think there should be a small wall. It's just a question of whether they've got the length of it about right. Conversations about layout and design are continuing. This will be an ongoing process, I suspect. Who says you can't have a good time on a building site? These guys have been going since 7 o'clock this morning, and they've still got the energy for a bit of dance. The guys are done, but I couldn't resist one little look at another beautiful sunset here. It's about 6:45, just after 6:45. Absolutely lovely. And once again, it makes me wonder, did we make a mistake on the house? Should we have put another balcony at the back of the master bedroom? Well, the master bathroom, in fact. It was just too much money. It would have required a walkway being built up and all sorts of extra cost. We just didn't have the money to do it. But my goodness, look at this. The guys are packing up and heading out. Another long, hard day for them. It was hot again today, so working out here in particular was hard work. But all the columns are poured. We'll see tomorrow how successful today's pour was, whether there's any noticeable difference to the 4 columns that they did yesterday. But that's it. Tomorrow, I guess it's more to do with walls. We'll see. Come back and find out. See you then.